Ever had a neighbor ruin your peace at 2 a.m.? That's what I faced when Karen, our HOA president, decided my life needed her personal supervision. I'm Jake, a single dad who moved to Willow Creek for a quiet life with my daughter, Lily. Our little house was our sanctuary until Karen's reign of petty tyranny began. Started small. Karen sent letters about my grass being a quarter-inch too long or my mailbox's unauthorized shade of blue. I complied to keep the peace, but her demands grew absurd. One day, she cornered me at the community picnic, insisting my daughter's lemonade stand violated commercial activity rules. Lily, only 8, cried when Karen confiscated her sign. I bit my tongue, but the resentment simmered. Neighbors whispered about Karen's power, tripped fine Mrs. Lopez for planting tulips instead of roses, and harassed Mr. Chan over his tacky wind chimes. Yet no one challenged her. The tension escalated when Karen spotted my new backyard chicken coop. I'd built it for Lily, who loved animals and dreamed of fresh eggs. The coop was legal, per city ordinances, but Karen claimed it lowered property values. She left voicemails daily, her tone dripping with condescension. "Jake, your chickens are a blight on our community. Remove them by Friday or face consequences." I checked the rules. HOA bylaws didn't ban livestock. I ignored her. Then came the twist. Karen wasn't alone in her crusade. At a neighborhood watch meeting, I met Tom, a quiet retiree who seemed friendly. He offered to talk sense into Karen, claiming he'd known her for years. I trusted him, grateful for an ally. But days later, Tom admitted he'd been feeding Karen intel about my coop to stay on her good side. Betrayed, I realized Karen's influence ran deeper than I thought. She'd turned neighbors into spies. The breaking point hit at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. A blaring megaphone jolted me awake. "Jake, your chickens are a disgrace. Remove them now." Karen's voice echoed through the street. I stumbled to the window, heart pounding, and saw her on my lawn, megaphone in hand, surrounded by cages of squawking chickens. Her own, apparently, brought to prove a point. Lily woke up, terrified, clinging to me. Neighbors' lights flicked on, faces peering out. Karen ranted about standards and disobedience, her voice manic. I called the police, hands shaking with rage. Officers arrived within minutes, their flashlights cutting through the chaos. Karen, undeterred, shouted about her authority as HOA president. The cops weren't impressed. "Ma'am, it's 2 a.m. You're disturbing the peace," one said, his tone firm. They questioned me, and I showed them the city ordinance permitting my coop. Karen's face twisted. She hadn't expected pushback. Then came the damning moment. Mrs. Lopez, emboldened, stepped forward with a bombshell. She'd recorded Karen admitting to forging HOA fines to fund her community beautification projects. The crowd gasped. Karen's ally, Tom, slunk back, avoiding her glare. The police issued Karen a citation for disturbing the peace and confiscated her megaphone. They warned her about the forged fines, suggesting legal consequences if Mrs. Lopez pressed charges. Karen stammered, her bravado crumbling as neighbors murmured their disapproval. The chickens she'd brought were taken to a local farm, and she was escorted home, humiliated. By morning, an emergency HOA meeting was called. Karen was voted out unanimously, replaced by Mrs. Lopez, who promised fairness. My coop stayed, and Lily's smile returned as she named her hens. Justice felt sweet, but the ordeal left scars. Karen's actions weren't just about chickens, they were about control, about bullying those who dared defy her. I learned neighbors could be allies or betrayers, but standing up matters. My daughter learned it too, proudly tending her coop. Karen moved away weeks later, her reputation in tatters. Some say she's terrorizing another HOA now, but Willow Creek is peaceful again. What do you think? Did Karen deserve her downfall? Or was she just misguided? Share your thoughts below.